In a forgotten corner of southern Italy, hidden behind rusted fences and faded posters, stood a traveling circus named Circo Bellissimo. Once famed across Europe, it had declined into a relic of cruelty and decay. Its biggest attraction, both in size and reputation, was an aging African elephant named Shaba. Shaba had been captured as a calf from the savannas of Botswana, torn from her family during a violent roundup decades ago. She was sold, shipped, and trained through fear. Her earliest years were filled with pain, bullocks, starvation punishments, isolation in cold metal trailers. Her soul, once vibrant and wild, had been broken for applause. By the time she arrived in Italy, Shaba was already in her mid-30s, with deep creases around her eyes and chains that never left her ankles. She performed twice daily, under a flaking red and white big top, bowing and dancing to garish music while drum turks clapped. No one knew her story. To them, she was just the elephant. Her handler, Enzo, a tall white man with a short fuse, treated her like machinery. He barely fed her, never cleaned her enclosure, and regularly hit her when she hesitated on command. He called her stupid, a bestie, a stupid beast, loud enough for the audience to hear. She lived in silence, but she remembered. Shaba remembered the sun-soaked grasslands, her mother's trumpet, the way her herd shielded her during storms. She remembered trees, rivers, joy, and she remembered the day it was all ripped away, the gunshots, the fire, the cages. Then, one spring night, everything changed. A fierce rainstorm had knocked out half the circus's lights. The few remaining guests had left early. Most of the crew were drinking in the tent, leaving the animals alone. That night, a young volunteer named Julia, the only one who ever looked Shaba in the eye, stayed behind to check on her. Julia had grown up nearby and joined the circus to pay her way through vet school. She had always been disturbed by the conditions, especially Shaba's. Over the weeks, she secretly began bringing her extra water, brushing her hide, and even humming softly to her after shows. And on that night, as lightning split the sky, Julia made a decision. She returned to the enclosure with a key she had stolen from Enzo. Her hands trembled as she slipped it into the lock. "I can't let them keep you here anymore," she whispered. But before she could undo the second lock, Enzo appeared, drunk, angry, and holding a whip. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" he slurred. Julia stepped in front of Shaba, shielding her. "She doesn't deserve this. None of them do. She's been abused for decades." He struck Julia across the face, knocking her to the mud. Shaba snapped. With a roar that shook the ground, she lunged forward, snapping the weakened chain on her front leg. Her massive head slammed into the enclosure gate, shattering it. Enzo turned just in time to see 6 tons of fury charging at him. He tried to run. He didn't make it far. By the time the police arrived, Enzo was unconscious but alive, his leg broken, his pride shattered. Shaba stood protectively over Julia, who had climbed to her feet and was sobbing into her trunk. The story made international headlines within 24 hours. Elephant saves volunteer, injures handler in escape attempt. Animal rights activists mobilized. Footage of Shaba's living conditions was leaked. Public outrage exploded across Europe. 3 weeks later, Circo Bellissimo was shut down. But the real miracle came when a wildlife sanctuary in Kenya, the same region Shaba had been stolen from, offered to take her. After months of vet evaluations, travel permits, and rehabilitation prep, Shaba was flown across continents, accompanied by Julia. When the transport crate opened in Nairobi, Shaba stepped out into a world she hadn't seen since she was a baby. The red dust beneath her feet, the smell of acacia, a warmth. And as she walked into the open fields, other elephants appeared in the distance, free, uncaned, and waiting. Shaba let out a long, deep trumpet. It echoed through the plains. She was home.